Okay, hello everybody. Sorry, we're a few minutes late. I don't know what happened there. I had a couple of technical issues suddenly, out of the blue. But anyway, we seem to be working okay, so that's great. So welcome to this verbaling class. We're going to be discussing the topic of stress today, and our class is called Let's Talk About Getting Stressed. So do come on in if you've booked a slot in this class, and I'm going to tell you a bit about some important things before we get started while the students are arriving. So there are 2 pages that you might want to check out that are there in the chat box for you. The first of which is my Facebook page. That's my verbaling teacher Facebook page. Go ahead to just kind of interact with other students, me, and see what's going on in my classes. I occasionally ask you to go and type something on there for me, or answer a question, or just check out something that I found that's interesting. So you can have a look at that one. The second one is my verbaling teacher page, which is where you'll find out what classes I've got coming up. Also, you'll find out my schedule. So if you're interested in taking any private tutoring sessions, you can check those out by clicking on my teacher page there. And do go ahead and click on the blue follow button if you would like. You can be automatically notified of all the stuff that's going on with me as a teacher here on Verbaling. So let's just say hi to who we've got here and see who we've got to be talking with us today about stress. So first of all, hello to Angelica.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Angelica. I'm good. It's been a while since I saw you, right?
Okay. Sorry, what was your question?
I've met you before, I think. Yeah? Have you been to one of my classes before?
Yes, I was with you 1 month ago.
That's right. That's what I was asking. I was just checking and saying it's been a long time since we saw each other.
Yes.
How are you doing? How's life?
In this moment, I'm pretty good. Here where I am is a bit warm. No more. In this moment. I'm in my work. I'm in my office and resting. In this moment, I feel relaxed when I have my English class.
Good. That's great to know, Angelica. All right. Well, welcome. And you can help teach us all about how to relax because today's class is on stress. All right. So good to have you. Welcome to the class. And hello to Antonio.
Hi.
How are you, Antonio? Antonio, I don't reckon... Well, you haven't got a picture, so just please remind me. Have I met you before?
No, we haven't met before.
All right, good. That makes me feel better.
Yes, the first time that I attend your lesson.
Excellent. If you're not talking, would you mind just muting yourselves, guys? Because otherwise we just get a bit of noise. And it's a bit hard to talk. All right, Antonio, good to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Okay, which part of Italy?
The south of Italy. Naples, near Naples.
Beautiful.
Pardon?
I think your whole country is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Have you ever been here?
No, I really want to go to Italy, but I haven't been yet.
All right. You must.
One day I will. I promise you, Antonio.
Okay.
All right, welcome to the class. Let's say hi again to David.
Hi,
Are you
teacher.
there? Hi,
Yes,
hi, David. And it's just one
Hi.
David today, so that's good. Hey, I don't have to
It's good.
figure out what to call you. Makes it much more easy. All right, good. Welcome. Great to have you. Eduardo, welcome back.
Hello, Amy. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Who else do we have here? Eugene.
Hello, Amy. I am Eugene from Russia, St. Petersburg.
Wow, what an introduction. Hello,
Yeah.
Eugene. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Yeah.
All right. And Eugene, are you the type of person who often feels stressed?
In fact, when I work hard, at some time I start to feel stressed. But sometimes the stress situations makes me, I don't know how to say it, but I work better in the stress situations.
Good point. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing that very thing shortly. So I will come back to you, okay?
Okay.
And welcome. Okay, who else do we have? Kadir, how are you?
Hi, Amy. It's
Good to
going
see you
well.
again.
Yeah, good to see you again too.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
No, that's a joke because I just saw you a few minutes ago. All right, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so hello also to Mikkel. Is that how I say it?
Yeah, hello, Ami. Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Good to meet you. Where are you from, Mikkel?
Spain.
You're from Spain. Have I met you before?
I think 1 or 2 times, a lot of time, well, a lot of, it's possible 15 days ago, I think I climbed with you.
All right. I'm so sorry if I haven't remembered you, Mikkel. Which part of Spain are you from?
Valencia.
Okay, and I learned today that you have lots of rice fields in Valencia.
You have visited Valencia before?
No, another place that's on my to-do list. I would like to do a big trip around Spain because there's lots of parts I haven't seen yet, and it's so diverse and interesting. But I will get to Valencia one day.
Okay, it's very nice.
I have heard that, Mikkel. All right, well, welcome to the class and lovely to see you again.
Okay, thank you.
And hello to Raphael. How are you doing?
Hello, Amy. I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Very well, thanks, Raphael. How's your week been, or maybe your weekend, I should say?
It was normal. I haven't done anything interesting, nothing interesting. Just stay home, take a little rest, and prepare for this week.
All right, that sounds like sometimes it's nice to do that at the weekend, to just get yourself sorted out and like clear up all the mess and get ready for another week. Yeah, I definitely like doing that sometimes. All right, welcome to the class.
Thanks.
Zola?
Soila.
Soila, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Soila. Sorry.
Hello.
I'll try and remember that. Nice to meet you.
Me too.
Where are you from?
I'm from Peru, but I live in Italy, Milan.
Ah, wow. All right. So do you speak Italian now as well?
Yes, because I am here since a lot of time.
All right. So multi-talented. This is your third language? English?
No, my first language to say
yes.
What's Spanish.
So you speak Spanish, Italian, what else?
French.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, welcome, Soila. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, we're going to be talking about stress. Now, I thought this was quite a suitable topic, only because sometimes learning a language can be stressful. I don't know whether you agree with me, but that's my opinion. So, we've got some questions that we're going to look at today. Firstly, what kind of stuff stresses you out? Is it some things more than others, certain situations, maybe certain people? Maybe it's your work, maybe it's, I don't know, not having enough time. I think there's hundreds and hundreds of things in life that can stress us. So we're going to find out what is the worst thing for you, or maybe a couple of things. And then we're going to figure out how we deal with it. So I think people deal with stress in different ways. How do you combat the stress? What do you do about it? Do you just ignore it? What happens if you ignore it? Does it get worse? Does it go away? Then we're going to talk about the idea that stress might actually not always be bad. And that's what Eugene was mentioning before, I think. So we'll come back to him when we get to that question. And then talk about what kind of stress might possibly be good for us and how it has positively affected our lives. Plus, any other comments or interesting questions that you guys come up with throughout the class. So do feel free to think of questions yourselves or type them in the chat box or ask each other. what I'd like to do is to have a discussion. So I'll do my best, because with 9 students plus me, it's sometimes a little bit trickier. So what we will do is I'll ask you some questions directly, but if you want to respond to any of the students, please do feel free to say, Amy, I just want to say something about that. So let's get started with our first question. What stresses you out the most? What is the thing that most drives you crazy in your life and you get really stressed about? So who should we ask first? Let's ask Kadir. What's the most stressful thing in your life? What always stresses you out?
Actually, most stressful things in my life is exams and studying things like FF student. And
Okay.
These things drive me crazy.
It drives you crazy.
Yeah.
So you're saying that things related to being a student?
Yes, students studying things and
Studying.
books, you know.
Alright, why? Why does it stress you out, Kadir?
Because they are so hard sometimes. They can be so hard, and sometimes I can't deal with these things.
Alright, and what kind of feelings do you get? What feelings do you get when you feel stressed? Can you name any of them?
I feel like I'm done with whatever I'm doing, and I don't wanna do it anymore.
You want to give up, right?
Yeah, and I'm fighting with the stress, doing other things, you know. For example, listening some music, it can be work, but I don't think it will work as always.
Alright, so what we're going to come to is ways of combating that stress shortly. So what I want to focus on right now is just what causes stress in your life. So being a student, exams make you feel angry and like you want to give up. I definitely can relate to that. Let's ask somebody else what stresses them out. Let's ask Antonio.
Hi. For me, what stressed me is, for example, not having enough time to do something. For example, I don't have enough time to study English. And this is what stressed me, and I feel angry, yes, when I'm stressed, because I think I didn't do so much before. So I am near, for example, an exam. I didn't study before, so I get angry about that. I get angry with myself.
For sure. And you kind of regret it. You're like, oh, why didn't I just do some more studying and then I wouldn't be in this position, right?
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that too. I definitely get stressed. In fact, this is one of my top things as well, Antonio. If I don't have enough time, if I run out of time, I get really stressed. I go into like panic mode and, I don't know, probably waste even more time panicking. Alright, who else do we have here? Let's see Soila, what stresses you out the most?
Sorry. I generally what has stressed the more to me is, for example, in the office when the telephone rings all the time and I can finish things, for example, that I have to do and to be concentrated, and that stress to me a lot.
Absolutely. So can I call that interruptions?
I didn't understand, sorry.
Do you know the word interruption? An interruption is like something that when you're concentrating.
Yes, I don't like it. Yes, That the problem is that I have to be interrupted during the day, so I have to stay more time at the office to finish things concentrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't like it.
Oh, I agree with you, Soila. In fact, I get stressed about lots of things, as you're about to find out. But yeah, interruptions, especially when you have a deadline, right?
Yes, yes, of course.
All right, great one. That's a really good one. Let's ask Angelica. Angelica, what stresses you out?
When I need to give to my boss some projects, and he told me, Angelica, I need the project right now. I really feel a bit stressed because I know that I need to give my best work, and when this situation happens when I'm working, I try to read, and then I try to do my best all the time. But when I end the work, I really want to cry.
Oh, Angelica.
But then I talk with my friends, and I love to smile because when I smile, I feel so good. Uh, I forgot that I can forget that I was stressed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good solution. Okay, so basically, I think what it is deadlines that stress you out, right? Your boss says like, I need this project by this time, and you think, I've got to finish it by then, and then it stresses you out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, who else shall we ask here? Let's ask David.
I become stressed when I have a deadline.
Yep.
And I need to send a work or a paper for a professor when I have a test. These things make me stress.
All right, so deadlines in general, like a test is sort of similar to a deadline, really, isn't it? Because it's like the time is up. You've suddenly got to take the exam if you haven't studied. I sometimes have dreams about these kind of things.
Yeah.
I probably need to do some more de-stressing techniques. That's true. All right, so yeah, deadlines for you as well then, David. Is there anything else in your life that stresses you out apart from deadlines?
I don't know. Many little things sometimes make me stress. Traffic, people, sometimes parents, relatives, in general.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one, David. I'm quite relieved you mentioned relatives and parents. All right, let's see. Let's see what who's next. Let's see what Mikkel. Mikkel, what do you think?
Well, it's difficult to express, but I suppose the work is the work study depend the situation personally. I think, for example, not in this moment, but the work, for example, when you have to deal with a lot of responsibilities, a lot of money. I suppose it's difficult to. I depend, but I suppose we have to learn to wear the best way to all the things. I suppose it's I admire with the people with it very relaxed. I know friends is very relaxed to explain a lot of. Sorry, I mean my English very. I have to. the more difficult to me is express I want to tell. I understand. I read, but I express. It's very hard for me. But I suppose that we have to learn more relaxed, more because
Exactly, Mikhail.
for
All right.
it's hard for me to express. I want to tell. I want to express. It's
I
difficult.
understand. You're doing great, Mikhail. There's no need to worry. That's what a speaking class is for, right? For practicing. All right, so keep your eye on the chat box, okay? Because I'll be writing some helpful stuff in there. You mentioned you mentioned, Mikhail, that some of your friends are very relaxed and are better at being relaxed about life than you.
I admire.
Yeah, I admire those people too, I have to say. But I just wanted to mention that a really good word for this is laid back. I don't know if you've heard this in English before, but if somebody is very laid back, they're very relaxed about the stuff. They're the type of person who's like, oh, it'll be fine. Not me, in other words. I'm like, ooh. But I have a very good friend. I ring her up. She's like, Amy, it'll be fine. Don't worry. She always calms me down. So a laid back friend is a good friend to have. That's my class recommendation, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mikhail. Who else do we have here? Raphael, tell us. What stresses you out most?
Generally speaking, pick other things other students have said, put them in the mixer, and that's what stressed me. I have read the list. I don't know. When things don't go according with the plan, when you are at job and you know you have plans, we have spent so much time planning what you're gonna do and your plans, and things simply doesn't happen according with that. So we have to make changes, and the time runs out, and we don't have enough time to make arrangements. It's complicated, and there's also other things. For instance, in my city, traffic jams are very stressful.
Yeah.
You spend, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours in traffic jam just to get to work. Pollution is also another thing. It's worse. People yelling next to you. Sometimes you have to concentrate on your job and your duties. And some people blah 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 blah, blah next to you. It's worse. Yes. Sometimes phones ringing. For the same reason, you have to concentrate on your job and your tasks, and you just can't. Sometimes your my cousin comes to visit you at 11 p.m. when you just want to sleep. It's also stressful. But I'm kind of easygoing, I don't stress so much. At least I don't make it. I don't show to people I'm stressed. I try to. I'm kind of introspective person, I think.
Okay, great. Thank you. You've mentioned lots of great stuff. I think possibly those things we can put under like environment, maybe, Raphael, like the noise, pollution, traffic. It's like all the things that are around you. You're not in control of them, but they affect you negatively. So at least some things like, well, deadlines. I guess we're not in control of the deadline, but we are in control of how much work we put in. So if we get to the end and it's and we haven't done it, it's sort of like our fault. But I don't know, traffic is something that you're not really in control of. All right, good point. Who else do we have to ask here? Eugene, we haven't heard from you yet. What stresses you out the most, Eugene?
Oh, finally my turn. I think,
sorry, you've been very patient.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I think that most stressful thing for me is when you're talking to someone, trying to explain something to him very logically, and this person just doesn't understand you, any word. I mean, like you're talking with the wall, and this gets me mad.
Eugene, that's a great one, and I have to say, I am exactly the same. Do you have anything else to add to that?
I don't know. I think maybe it's just situations that I can't control. Maybe at most high level description.
Yeah. All right. Something that just, I suppose, yeah, maybe stress is a little bit too extreme of a word, but something that really annoys me is if exactly what you were just saying. So either somebody doesn't understand you, they're just like, and you can't get through to them, or they're not listening to you. So you know they're not listening, and then later on they're like, so what did you say? And you have to repeat yourself again and again. Oh, that drives me round the twist. Okay, thank you, Eugene. Who else do we have to hear from? Eduardo, what makes you stressed?
Well, in my case, I get up 1 hour earlier. Well, I don't mind to commute every day for 40 minutes because I like to live outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
But I work in the city, and it made me crazy when in the rush hour you don't find a parking spot. It's crazy in my city. There is a lot of people going around looking for, and I usually get up 1 hour earlier just to do that, to find our parking spot. And well, I have breakfast in the city, but I need. It gets me crazy. It's not a stress. It's nervous, upset, crazy. Yeah.
Definitely. Not being able to find a parking space is very frustrating. I agree. So you have to drive around and around and around and keep looking and hope you're lucky, right?
Yeah, if I get up 1 hour late earlier, it's not a problem because people. But there is a lot of people who does that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They all have the same idea.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to move on to, guys, is we've got a lot. Have a look at the chat box if you forget what we've said. We've got a lot of different stuff that stresses us out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention one of these things. For example, deadline. And I'm going to ask one of you to tell me, or all of you, whoever's got an idea, what is a solution to this? How can you avoid this? Or is it possible to avoid being stressed by this? Maybe it's something you can do to avoid the thing happening, or maybe it's something you can do within yourself to stop being stressed about that thing. So we're going to go back to the top of the chat box. And the first thing that was mentioned was being a student. So this is Kadir's, right? Exams, studying, I guess mainly the exam part of things because it's the identifiable thing. What do you guys suggest? How can you reduce the stress of exams? Does anyone have any ideas?
Start studying earlier.
Yes. Okay.
Just
so basically,
take a break.
Take a break? Yeah, that's a really good one. Sometimes that's so simple, but you forget to do it. Does anyone forget to do this? Sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, I'm all tensed up at my computer, and my body's going, my brain's going, I can't think properly. But I just don't remember to take a break for some reason. Maybe I need to have a little screensaver that goes, take a break, and then you just get up and walk around. It just makes you feel so much better. Or have a coffee. That's a great solution to most problems, guys. Okay. All right, so start studying earlier. What if you have started studying earlier, but you're still feeling stressed about it? You feel like you're not going to be able to learn everything in time. What can you do? Fail?
Yeah.
Any suggestions from anybody?
Well, go have a drinks with your friends.
Yeah, just give up and relax and know that you're going to fail. Yeah, okay. I think, Eduardo, that's not so silly. I think sometimes you have to accept that something is not going to work out, and then you're wasting your time and energy being stressed about it, right? I think that is true in some situations. Maybe it's not always for exams, but maybe for other things in life, sometimes there is literally nothing you can do about it. So I always find in that situation, actually, I feel more relaxed because I know I've done everything. And if it doesn't work out, well, just kind of have to get
I
over
think
it.
the worst thing is to find this threshold between accept that you have to take a little rest and realize that you won't learn anything by that time, and keep studying, keep trying to see what will happen next. So it's the worst thing, I think. It's the most difficult.
I think so. It is really difficult. Definitely not easy, but quite helpful to remember. All right, great one. So what about, I suppose this is similar, not having enough time to do something. This happens to me quite frequently. What do you guys do about this? Does anyone have any solutions? If you feel panicky, you're like, oh, I haven't got enough time to finish this project, go to the supermarket, I don't know. What do you do about that?
I think, like Eugene said, it's going to make you work hard. So just do it. In my case, I'm a meticulous person. I really order. I'm an engineer, and we have a lot of deadline at work. And I don't like to work in a rush. But it makes me work hard, but not better. Hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. Eugene, do you want to go? We'll come back to you because you mentioned this at the very beginning. You were talking about what Eduardo was just saying, I think. Some types of stress, this type of stress is actually positive for you?
Kind of, yes. I feel like that this is like a game, I think. I get some achievements if I do some stuff before deadline. So the main sorry.
So I can
suggest that the main way to sorry, I have to translate. So basically, I need to analyze the situation and find some basic parts that I need to solve, and then I just work on these small basic parts, and okay, it's
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really great idea. So basically, you're saying, Eugene, like break up the big thing into smaller tasks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So if you've got like this real scary deadline, sorry, Antonio. I hope you go to bed and relax. Yeah, break it up into smaller parts, and then it's easier to manage. Like you can see what you've got to do, and it's just one accomplishment. Maybe it also gives you a better sense of achievement if you finish one of those small tasks. Then you start to feel less stressed because you can see you're making progress.
Some kind of rewards to myself, I think.
Yeah, that's a really good solution, Antonio. Thank you. And another thing that crosses my mind from you is I guess see it as like a challenge, not as some kind of bad thing, but as some kind of a positive, okay, I can do this, right? Change your attitude about it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What else do we have here? Okay, what can you do about traffic? What can you do about noise? What can you do about pollution? Any suggestions from anybody? This environmental kind of stress.
I have.
Okay.
Actually, it's if you don't want to stuck in the traffic, you can get one motorbike or something.
Okay, so get a motorbike.
I think it will work. It's a really easy solution.
All right, because then you can like zip past all the traffic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about noise? What can you do about noise? Any ideas?
Headphones, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Earplugs or
best
headphones?
solution for noise, I think.
Alright, so yeah, I'm guessing what we're really saying is that with these things that are environmental problems, it's not something that you can really do anything about outside of yourself. It's all of the measures you have to take are to do with your own body, right? So listen to music, I don't know, earplugs, or get up earlier, like Eduardo does, and try and find a place to park, buy a
What about
motorbike.
noisy neighbors? That's
Noisy neighbours. There are programs on TV about this, Eduardo. What do you do about noisy neighbours? You move. Does anyone have any more practical solutions?
Kill them.
Kill them. Okay, great. Thanks, Raphael.
You should really kill them.
Noisy neighbours are a nightmare, aren't they? Has anyone ever had some really, really noisy, annoying neighbours?
I have one.
You have one. What are they like? What do they do?
They're kind of little. They have a little child, and he's shouting all day. I hate him.
I know the
hate
feeling,
him.
can you?
And,
Yeah,
and his mother also like him. She's shouting too. And
oh no, that sounds terrible. I have to say, when I was living in Spain last year, I had the same problem. The child would scream, the mum would scream, everyone was screaming, and I was going, shut up! You could hear everything they were saying, and it was awful. Yeah, I never really found a solution to that other than move out. Has anyone else got any suggestions? Apart from kill them, which is not really a very good idea. Thanks, Raphael. No?
Maybe you
Noisy
just
neighbors.
have to knock their door and say that they are noisy, because they didn't know that they're actually noisy. In fact.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. It's actually true. They might not even realize how noisy they're being. It's definitely worth a try.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a try. What do you guys? Yeah.
No, the best way is talking to them, talk about some of their acts you don't like. You need your privacy, you need your time to rest, and the best way is talking.
Yeah, I agree, Raphael. I think that's probably the best solution. What for you guys are the most annoying or the most stressful noises? Is it kids screaming? Is it traffic going past your window? Is it alarms going off? Like, for instance, one of the people who lives in my house has an alarm, and it goes beep, 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 really loudly. He never wakes up. He doesn't wake up. But I wake up. The rest of the house wakes up. I'm upstairs and he's downstairs, but his alarm is so loud that I wake up, and he lets it go on for an hour. And literally, I sometimes think I want to kill him. It's so annoying. So, guys, what are the most annoying noises for you? Angelica, tell us what's annoying for you. Do you find noises annoying?
Yes. I remember when my neighbors are making a party. It was on Saturday, and I arrived to home. A bit tired with the headache.
A bit late.
And I was listening music all night. I really feel so hard.
Absolutely. So music is annoying for you?
Yes, but my sister told me, "Oh, we can go to the neighbor and say, why can you invite me to the party?"
Why didn't you invite me to the party?
But
good idea.
Yes, it's a good idea, but I really felt so bad with my headache.
Yeah. Okay, music is, I think mostly, maybe not even the music so much as the drum beat or the bass that you can always hear, and you can't really block it out. I don't know whether you guys have tried. Sometimes I tried blocking out with earplugs, but you can still like feel it or something, or the bass somehow gets into you, even through earplugs. All right, let's ask Mikkel. What noise do you hate the most?
Yes, normally the noise is not for a problem for me. For example, I like a lot of to play tennis. Normally, I suppose is the time is a problem nowadays. Because nowadays I suppose we have to do a lot of things to arrive at time. A lot of I have to buy a lot of to arrive a lot of in times, a lot of to do a lot of things. Yes, for example, I very nervous. I nervous but I normally I don't know how to explain, mommy. But normally I try to for example I nervous normally because I have to do a lot of things in the work, in friends. But I think we have to do very relaxed, very more relaxed, because you go to, for example, to the market to buy, to do the people. No, 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 you fair. No, no, no. Do you? I try to do I try because I very nervous. I try to do more relax. No, no problem, no problem because I try to do the things more relaxed, more successful. I mm, I put the nervous, for example, to try to explain. I am I don't know, Amy, how to spray because I nervous. Yeah, because when I try to explain the people, no, 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 no problem. Is um,
All right, well, you're doing great, Mikkel. So just the best way to improve your speaking in this kind of way, I know that explanations and telling personal accounts are some of the most difficult things to do in another language. And I have always found it helpful to not just leave this for classes. This is just a general tip for you guys. If you're having problems explaining situations or describing things, then you can actually practice this by yourself, because generally if somebody's talking about something, like when I ask you guys a question, you'll give me a few minutes or at least 30 seconds worth of answer. And you can practice this at home, Mikkel. You can practice this, I don't know, after work every day or something. Just try explaining something to yourself about the day. Imagine you're talking to your friend or something in English. And when you get stuck with something, when you think, ugh, I don't know how to say that, try to figure out what it is about that part that you can't work out how to say. It might be that you don't know the vocabulary, or that you're stuck with a grammar tense that you need or something. And it's a good way to identify what particularly might help you, what particular aspect of the language might help you. So maybe have a go at that. You're doing great, but this is just a suggestion for outside of class time, okay?
okay, thank you.
And maybe it will help you be less stressed. Who knows? All right, so we've got a few more minutes, guys. What I want to know now is what do you do to combat stress in general? Like, if you're feeling stressed and you can't do anything about the situation, what do you do about it? How do you get around stress in your life? Because no matter what we do, I think it just happens to us sometimes. And how do you move on from that? How do you get away from it? Or do you just stick with it? And do you think that's a healthy thing to do or not? I want to know your opinions. Let's ask Eduardo.
Well, I try to avoid the situation. For example, I don't like cities. I prefer to live in front of a beach, like I'm living right now, 40 minutes from my city. So I like to take walks on the beach. So maybe I don't go shopping at the weekends because there is a lot of people. And yes, try to avoid stress situation. And at work, maybe I don't know how can I do it, but yes, I think it's experience. When you have a lot of years at the same work and you have experience, you get comfortable and you can deal with different stressful situations. Yeah, I think experience is the best way. Do what you think is better for you and try to relax in the way you usually do. I don't know. I think everyone is a different world, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone is certainly different. I like those two. Well, you gave us several different ways. Definitely, I really like the one where you said gain experience. I want to put it in another word and say practice. Sometimes, if you practice something that causes you stress, it becomes less stressful because you're more confident about it, and that's certainly true with languages. The more you practice, the less stressful it is. So thanks, Eduardo. They were great suggestions. Let's ask Soila. What do you do, Soila?
To combat this stress, in my case, but the first thing that when I arrive at home, I connect immediately the answering machine.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I try to relax at home, doing a lot of things to combat the stress at work. That for me is the normal thing now for everyone, but it's sometimes it's more and more difficult to combat it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to agree with you, Soila. It does seem to be getting harder. I love your idea of when you get home, put the answer machine on and don't answer any more calls. Great idea. I'm going to start doing that.
Yes.
Straight to voicemail.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Let's ask Raphael.
Yes.
What is your general strategy for combating stress? If you feel stressed, what do you do to relax?
When I stay home stressed, when I get home stressed, I simply grab my MP3 player, my headphones, and wear my tennis shoes and go for a walking, listening music and thinking about life, about pleasant things, issues, and enjoying the environment or whatever, everything. Just trying to forget my day, and a few minutes later it's gone. I'm new again, and that's it. Nothing special, just the basic. Just forget because time is the best remedy. Time the best medicine to stress. Just stay a little, because you will figure out that probably most reasons for your stress aren't really reasons. Just for you realize that they are not really important. So that's it. Just basic.
Cool. Yep, I have to agree with you, Raphael. What I've put in the chat box is get some perspective, right? Just like, I suppose when you get home, you can take a step back, look at your day, and then you think, it wasn't that big a deal. Maybe I'm making too much out of this. It gives you a bit of perspective, and then the stress disappears. Agreed. Eugene, what do you do? Music? Walking?
If stress caused by some social communications, I just try to make a break, just deep breathing, and rest a little and think about what caused that stress situation. Many such misunderstandings between people is caused by lack of information between them, and just maybe sometimes I just go to the person and try to talk with him just peacefully. I think maybe just if stress caused by some technical situation, as I said, just think of it like a game, as I said earlier.
Yeah, I really love that one. And also the one you just mentioned, that is so true. I think sometimes this happens to me. If I have a stressful relationship or some kind of problem with somebody, the best way to get rid of the stress is actually just to face it and not like trying to stop thinking about it all the time. Yeah. Just to actually go, okay, I'm going to deal with this right now and ring them or talk to them or something. That's a really good idea. Great one. Okay, Kadir, tell us, what do you do?
Actually, if there is no way out and no solution, I'm staring and looking far away and firing up a cigarette and inhaling one breath and exhaling it. It relaxes me.
Okay, good one. And that's so easy. We can all do that. Just do it now. Definitely helps. Take big breaths. I love it. Thank you, Kadir. Anything else?
No, not really.
The fix everything solution. All right, great, thank you. Who haven't I asked yet? Angelica, you've been so patient.
Yes. Well, when I'm immediately when I have stress, I use I start to eat cookies.
How does this help you, Angelica?
Well, all the time when I am stressed, I try to talk with my friends. I think that it's very important to think about the best thing that that is in that situation. I think that if I feel stressed because I think that something is wrong, and I try to change the thing. I try to change the meaning about the situation that is happens. I try to see the best thing. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so try to see it differently, right?
Yes, it's because when you are stressed, it's because you maybe you aren't sure about your feeling. I don't know.
Things are like not clear, right, in your head. So if you try and talk it out with somebody or look at it from a different perspective, is that what you mean?
Yes, it's very important to learn about all the things that is happening in my life. It's very important to learn about what is the problem that is making that you feel stressed.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Angelica. Guys, we're going to have to finish the class now. I don't want you to get stressed in case you've got another class next and you'll be late for it. So, thank you for sharing all of those things that stress you out. And thank you for sharing your solutions. I think they're really helpful. So I've typed as many of them as I can remember into the chat box. You might want to make a note of those for when English learning stresses you out. You can take some deep breaths, eat some cookies, talk to your friends. Lots of different solutions we've gone through today. So thanks very much for all of you, your ideas, some great speaking. Don't forget to check out the chat box, and I will see you soon, I hope. So take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.